When I tell you the palace just dropped a bombshell, I mean it. King Charles signed off on a brand new royal rule, one that's shaking every hallway of the monarchy. And though it sounds simple on paper, the impact? Oh, it's massive. The new law says this: any child who wants to stay in the royal line of succession must be raised full-time in the United Kingdom under direct royal supervision. No exceptions, no special treatment, no California sunshine. And the moment that rule came out, everyone knew who it hit first: Archie and Lilibet, Harry and Meghan's two little ones. Born and raised thousands of miles away from the palace, those children instantly fell outside the royal bubble. They've never lived under royal routine, never joined the ancient traditions, never played in palace courtyards, and just like that, gone. Their claim to the line blurred overnight. But let's be honest, this wasn't just a rule update. People inside the palace whispered it loud and clear. This was a message that the monarchy was moving on, that it was ready to tighten its circle, to define who truly belongs and who doesn't. And for Meghan Markle, that message hit like a slap she never saw coming. Because to her, this wasn't just about titles. It was about belonging. It was about her children being seen as part of a story she's fought so hard to belong to. But this rule said something else entirely. The monarchy decides who belongs, not her. And you'd think that was bad enough, but no. Before the ink even dried, King Charles dropped another rule, sharper, colder, and twice as cutting. This one said only the children of active working royals will remain in the line of succession. Meaning if your parents aren't out there shaking hands, smiling on balconies, and bowing for the crown, your royal place just disappeared. Now let's not forget Harry and Meghan stepped down from royal duties in 2020. They chose freedom, not formality. They left behind the palace walls to build a life on their own terms. But that choice has now circled back like a haunting echo. Years later, it's their children who are paying the price. Behind palace doors, Charles's advisors called it a structural update, a clean, practical way to slim down the monarchy and safeguard its future. But in Montecito? Oh, it didn't feel structural at all. Insiders say it felt personal, like a quiet punishment, the final thread between Meghan's family and the crown being snipped away. A warning that choices have consequences, and that the monarchy wasn't bending anymore. Not for love, not for freedom, and definitely not for the Sussexes. Of course, the palace insisted it wasn't personal. But tell that to Meghan. Because for the second time in just days, a new rule appeared, and both pointed straight at her children. And this time, it was written in permanent ink. But just when it seemed things couldn't possibly escalate further, the palace made another move, quieter, colder, almost surgical. They called it a clarity review. Normally, these reviews are harmless, just paperwork, checking documents, updating files, tidying records. But this one? Oh no, this one was different. This review had constitutional lawyers, royal historians, and even legal experts in succession law digging through archives. And when that kind of team is pulled together, it means something serious is brewing, something that could alter history books. The review focused on everything tied to Harry, Meghan, and their children's birth certificates, medical confirmations, timelines, documents that should have moved automatically but didn't. They were going through everything. Not hostile, but painfully thorough, like a slow, polite erasure. While the monarchy was tightening its grip, another power was rising behind the palace walls, Prince William. For years, he played the quiet learner, observing his grandmother, watching his father prepare for the crown. But now, William has stepped into the role of protector, not of people, but of the institution. Insiders say his patience has evaporated. After years of drama, interviews, accusations, documentaries, William's tolerance has thinned to almost nothing. He's described as focused, unbending, and ready to make ruthless decisions. Advisors say he's even willing to support removing royal titles entirely if that's what it takes to safeguard the monarchy's legacy. William will cut a limb to save the body, one insider whispered. And he doesn't see it as revenge, he sees it as duty. Where Harry stepped away, William stepped forward. Where Meghan challenged the system, William reinforced it. And where Charles started reshaping the monarchy, William intends to finish the job. Behind closed doors, the message is clear. The crown cannot afford chaos in the next generation. Not under Charles. Not under William. And while William grows stronger, Meghan is preparing for something even more explosive, a legal battle. Yes, you heard that right. Sources claim she's already spoken with lawyers in both California and the UK. She wants to know whether these rule changes violate the ancient 1701 Act of Settlement, the very law that has defined royal inheritance for over 3 centuries. To her, the timing feels too pointed, too cruel to be coincidence. She believes the monarchy is rewriting rules specifically to push her children out to make them invisible in royal history. And she's ready to fight. But her lawyers are warning her this path is dangerous. Suing the monarchy isn't like filing a simple case. It doesn't stay private. It doesn't stay clean. Once it begins, it drags everyone into the spotlight. Every document, every email, every whisper behind palace curtains. Real statements, real evidence, real consequences. And that's where the nightmare starts, because if Meghan truly goes forward, Harry will have to face the choice he's been avoiding for years. To stand publicly with his wife, or with his family. Standing with Meghan means standing against his father and brother in court, under oath, before the world. Standing with the palace means breaking the vow he once made that he'd never leave her to fight alone. For Meghan, it's about recognition. For the monarchy, it's about order. For Harry, it's about survival. Because now, he's trapped between 2 worlds that can no longer exist together. The battle hasn't officially started, but the lines are drawn. On one side, the monarchy, rewriting the rules, reshaping the system, closing its ranks tighter than ever, rules rewritten, titles redefined, succession recalculated, a clarity review, quietly removing uncertainty, and maybe, people. King Charles isn't bending anymore. William isn't compromising. The palace is moving forward like a machine. On the other side, Meghan, standing in Montecito, her heart on fire. She sees the rule change as an eraser. She sees the review as an invasion. She feels the distance between California and London stretching like an ocean that will never close again. And in between stands Harry, a man without a kingdom. A prince torn between love and legacy. A son watching the gates of his old life slam shut one by one. Sources close to them say the tension in their home is thick, unspoken, but always present. Harry feels the weight of what's coming. He knows the choices are about to become brutal and irreversible. Because if Meghan takes that legal step, the monarchy will be forced to respond. That means witnesses, sworn statements, uncovered truths, even the ones the palace has buried for decades. And once that happens, there's no going back. No peace. No privacy. No pretending this was ever just family business. This is the moment before the break, the point where everything fragile starts to crack. The future of 2 innocent royal children now sits at the center of a constitutional storm. A storm that could tear open centuries of secrecy. The monarchy is ready to move on. Meghan is ready to fight back. And Harry? He's bracing himself for the hardest choice of his life, one that could cost him everything. Because this isn't just another royal drama. It's the beginning of something much bigger, the moment where love, power, and bloodline collide. And trust me, whatever comes next, it won't be quiet, it won't be gentle. It will shake the royal family to its core. This isn't the end of their story. It's the spark, the moment before the explosion.